Why would a multi-level marketing supplement company that generates more than 80% of its annual revenue within the Asia Pacific region acquire a direct-to-consumer children's supplement brand focused on the US market? So I'll answer that introductory question and a few other interesting ones percolating inside of my head a bit later in this content. But let's start with some press release details for those that didn't see the recent business news. On the Monday before the Christmas holiday, USANA Health Sciences, which, if you didn't know, is a US public company trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the stock ticker USNA, announced its acquisition of an almost 79% controlling ownership stake in Hiya Health for a $205 million cash transaction with contractual features providing acquisition of the remaining equity at a pre-negotiated valuation scale. For the last 12 months ended September 30th of 2024, Hiya Health generated net sales of $103 million and adjusted EBITDA of $22 million. That implies a transaction value of approximately 2.5 times trailing 12 months revenue, or about 12 times adjusted EBITDA, both of which are mostly in line with recent M&A transactions across the VMS industry. And though other founders love to obsess over those comparative metrics, regardless of where they landed, I'd imagine this is an amazing financial outcome for a company that was only founded 4 years ago and raised a total of a measly $500,000. But let's jump to the more interesting portion of the content, an examination around the strategic rationale for this M&A transaction. And that's because, as I noted in the introduction, it could seem a bit odd for anyone possessing a basic understanding of the business model differences between USANA Health Sciences and Hiya Health. Yet, according to USANA Health Sciences CEO, Hiya Health is a natural fit for our business. So, what's going on here? And we should probably start with how the multi-level marketing business model appears to be falling flat for some companies after years of public scrutiny, regulatory pressures, and changing consumer tastes. But if you remember, it was only a few years ago during the Great Shutdown era that MLM companies, especially those focused on the health and wellness product categories, were flourishing once again, with independent sales force recruitment spiking due to people being at home and or out of work. You even had MLM companies like Beachbody take advantage of this unique marketplace moment to become a public company through a SPAC transaction at the very beginning of 2021. But what spikes usually crashes just as violently, and it seems America has quickly fallen back out of love with these capitalist cults, at least for right now. And while there's still examples of MLM companies like Herbalife Nutrition doubling down and investing in people, thus empowering the economic opportunity it provides distributors, some are pivoting away from the business model completely. In fact, the Beachbody CEO recently stated, "We recognize, in the light of today's current market dynamics, as well as consumer preferences, the multi-level marketing distribution model is outdated and unsustainable." So, where does USANA Health Sciences sit within this MLM slowdown? In 2021, USANA Health Sciences had net sales that was slightly below $1.2 billion, but that number has fallen by almost 30% during the last 3 years. And then beyond revenue, both total active customers and independent associates, aka its sales force, has also declined substantially compared to that 2021 period. But while those metrics aren't great by any stretch of the imagination, at least from what I could tell, USANA Health Sciences doesn't have any plans of totally abandoning the multi-level marketing business model like Beachbody. Instead, USANA is maintaining commitment and investing further into its core direct sales business, with the strategic acquisition of Hiya Health adding a diversified layer of growth to the overall business. And I should have probably used the phrase further adding diversification, as this isn't the first value accretive investment opportunity USANA has pursued to advance its long-term growth strategy. In December of 2020, USANA made a strategic investment in the protein bar brand manufacturer Built Brands. Beyond receiving a minority equity stake in a growing company, Built Brands' expertise was leveraged to accelerate the development, enhancement, and expansion of USANA's nutrition bars that were to be manufactured in its new foods plant. And then in November of 2022, USANA acquired the protein bar brand Rise Bar. Additionally, in that same announcement, USANA acquired an emerging direct selling company called Oola, that leverages a personal development framework to sell mind and body supplements. And since I believe the operations of these acquisitions have remained mostly independent, I'm not 100% certain how their revenue flows through into the USANA financial statements. Regardless, I'm quite confident those two simultaneous M&A transactions combined did not have the current or potential future diversification impact of Hiya Health. So let's talk about those diversification layers beyond the obvious business model differences. As mentioned in the introduction, despite being headquartered in Utah and having most of its human capital and manufacturing capabilities located in the state, USANA generates about 90% of its net sales outside of the United States. So the Hiya Health transaction meaningfully expands and diversifies the overall USANA geographical revenue mix. On the other hand, Hiya Health geographical sales concentration creates an obvious opportunity for that brand to leverage the significant international expansion expertise at USANA. Sticking with sales diversification, future growth initiatives include leveraging the USANA manufacturing capabilities to unlock distribution expansion with Hiya Health at select large US retailers like Costco and Target. But another diversification layer will be unlocked by providing USANA with further opportunity to expand its presence in the children's health and wellness market. In 2010, USANA acquired a China-based direct selling company, Baby Care. This M&A transaction has proved to be extremely successful over the last 14 years, with USANA even investing $40 million to build a Beijing state-of-the-art manufacturing facility that opened in 2017. Next, while USANA is a leader in many aspects, it recognizes that leveraging the consumer insights and digital marketing expertise at Hiya Health could enhance the ability to generate sustainable long term growth and deliver value for stakeholders. And then finally, there's a collection of dense financial diversification layers that this Hiya Health M&A transaction provides to USANA. Since Hiya Health generates its revenue through a compelling direct to consumer subscription model, its attractive gross margins and net profitability, along with cash flow generation, will enhance the current USANA financial metrics. Similarly, the geographic sales mix at Hiya Health will enhance domestic profitability for USANA, creating a lower consolidated effective tax rate and more tax efficient structure overall. But for this final portion of the content, I want to examine a particular scenario that intrigued me enough to lean in further around this supplement industry M&A transaction. And it all began when I read in the press release that, quote, USANA may leverage the Hiya Health children-focused products within its direct sales channel. But while no clarifying mention was made around if that could be just relabeling Hiya Health products to create a USANA children-focused extension in the US market, or if it literally meant potentially including some Hiya Health products into the USANA direct sales portfolio. The latter option is, though, what had my brain working overtime. And it goes back to the earlier point around companies recently abandoning or shifting away from multi-level marketing. So consider the potential scenario where USANA unlocks Hiya Health distribution expansion at, say, Target or Costco or Amazon, but then USANA also starts including some Hiya Health products into its direct sales channel. The new business challenges that would be created are not unlike what recently happened to another MLM company. Tupperware Brands began selling a selection of products in Target stores and on Amazon while simultaneously maintaining its multi level marketing strategy. But poor demand planning and inventory controls left the independent sales force without product to sell, forcing many to depart. Similarly, MLM companies not abandoning direct sales but also expanding direct to consumer, Amazon, and large wholesale channels can create new price strategy wrinkles. And that's because the price premium on the direct sales channel tends to be higher, thus creating price competition and oftentimes undercutting the independent salespeople that generate the bulk of total revenue right now for these MLM companies. So, for these companies dropping multi level marketing, it's always important to remember that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But with the form of direct selling invented 80 years ago by Carl Rehnborg now becoming a tainted term of sorts today, I'd expect more of these MLM companies to add diversified layers of growth. Yet, don't get it twisted. These moves are mostly targeted at slightly camouflaging the primary business model just long enough until multi level marketing can be reframed and transformed into something more attractive to the younger digitally native generations. But I hope you enjoyed the first principles thinking that went into my latest YouTube video. If you did, can you do me a favor by hitting that like button? That quick and free action helps YouTube know my content is worth spreading to more people. Also, we're getting really close to reaching my next subscriber goal, and it would be great if you join me on this journey. But to do that, we need to fix the fact that slightly more than three-fourths of you that are watching this video right now are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and that hurts my feelings. Regardless, I want to thank you for giving me some of your attention and time, and I'll see you on the next one.